think you really need a record label?
Listen.
We're at a record label, so it's a little strange asking this.
Listen, and I'm going to keep it all the way funky with you. With social media and everything, to me, I take someone like, and I don't know his deal or anything, so don't quote me on this, because this isn't, I'm just using this as an example because how hot he was independently. Let's say we take Chief Keef, for example.
Okay.
You take someone such as Chief Keef, young kid, on fire. To me, I said the worst thing Chief Keef ever did was get a record deal. That's just my opinion, because, and I don't know the situation. I don't know how much money he got up front of any of that. I'm just saying, I don't know.
The story we heard was $6 million.
Okay, well, I mean, if he got $6 million, then it wasn't the worst thing that he did. Now, I'm saying as far as that $6 million going in his pocket and not being $6 million for everything, his budget and all that.
Yeah, I mean, that's for his whole label, situation, group, whatever, not just...
Right,
yeah.
Okay. Now, my point being is that you look at someone that's got a great social media following and everything. Dude was well up over 3-4 million views on his YouTube.
Yeah. A
few times independently.
Yeah.
And this was all under a year.
Yeah.
That he was doing this. This isn't like videos that he's had up there for 2 or 3 years and they accumulated. This was like a year.
Yeah, Love Sosa went to like 3 million in like a week or two.
Okay. Yeah. So you look at that and then you say to yourself, in an era right now where it's so hard to sell records, then I look at Chief Keef's following. It's more of a mixtape song type of following. Me, myself, I would have said, you know what? And it's just me knowing what I know now as Nelly. And then if I could go back and put myself Chief Keef, I'd be like, you know what? Okay, I'm cool on a record deal. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to put out singles. I'm going to strike my own deal with iTunes, and I'm just going to put out singles. Why? Because if I put out an album, I might as well make it a mixtape, because my era and they're not really buying albums anyway. You see what I'm saying? So I could just keep putting songs out and singles and keep touring off of singles. As long as my singles are selling and I'm getting radio airplay, I'm touring. I'm making money. Now, I done came in here, I done gave up this 360 deal, which I done gave up part of my publishing, part of my merchandise, part of my touring, and all of that for this cut of money, which I could have owned 100% of my merchandise, owned 100% of my publishing, and owned 1% of that. I may not have got all the money that I got up front, but I promise you in the next year or two, I would have made that money and still owned everything I got. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Instead of doing that, but I mean, obviously that don't come along as well, but you look at someone like Mac Miller and all them that's doing that, and if they have somebody in their head, they're probably not even trying to get a record deal. You see what I'm saying? For what? Because you probably, at this point, you probably can't pay them enough.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't pay me enough right now if I just did number one. Why? Because I still own everything, and people don't understand how valuable owning everything is. People so want the upfront money right now that if they understood how much money is going to circulate back to them because they do own everything, man, please.
You still own all the publishing from your first albums and everything else like that, or was
no? I mean, I struck a publishing deal early. That was the thing to do. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, my publishing deal is now up. So yeah, I mean, I'm getting my publishing back. I mean, obviously, I don't own my masters or nothing like that.
Oh, you don't?
No. Very few.
But back then,
very few. Nobody.
Everyone.
There's nobody. You probably got about 4 or 5 people in this business that in the whole business that has the right to their masters.
Baby.
I don't know. I don't know their deal. You see what I'm saying? I can't speak on nobody else's business.
I've heard, but you're right. It's these deals are so convoluted.
Yeah, man. People can say what they heard and all like that, but it's not like athlete deals where it's public knowledge.